This is Goku Sun DBZ, and welcome back to Top 10 Sunday. And today, of course, last week I did Top 10 anime, or rather Top 10 villains in anime. This Sunday will be Top 10 heroes in anime. So the polar opposite, obviously. And like normal, of course, I will do number 10 to number 2, and then honorable mentions, and then number 1. And here they are. Coming in at number 10, Guts. And he is from, of course, the anime series known as Berserk, which is actually an anime I personally have never seen, but it's highly praised by a lot of anime fans out there. And as well as from everything I've understood, the manga is also quite good. So, of course, he specializes using a giant overgrown sword, which is kind of a signature in video games and in anime, in general Japanese culture, for some reason. But, yeah, Guts from Berserk comes in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is the character Lane from though she kind of struggles with her darker half, I guess you could say, throughout the series, which is like 13, 14 episodes long. And her name is Lane, and she's from the main pro/antagonist of the series, Serial Experiments Lane, which is a great, highly underrated anime series, I will say, definitely. If you ever get a chance, if you have Hulu or something, you ever get a chance to watch Serial Experiments Lane, I highly recommend you check out Serial Experiments Lane. It's an incredible anime series. The animation is top-notch, well done. The voice acting is top-notch, English and Japanese both. And it's kind of 50-50 with English dub. Half of it's bad, half of it's decent or good. And Lane is definitely on the good side of English dubbed. But they got a lot of established, well-known English voice actors from many different animes to do this. But get a chance, check it out. Coming in at number 8 is from the series Trigun, and his name is Vash or something like that. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correct. The Stampede, which of course is the main protagonist, and he had a darker half, and he's trying to repent for his sins of the past. But Trigun is actually an anime series. I've only seen a few episodes back when it used to be on the Midnight Run on Cartoon Network, back when they actually had good shows. Which I stopped watching Cartoon Network when they ended Toonami. And also, Adult Swim became crap. But yes, coming in at number 8 is Vash the Stampede from Trigun. Coming in at number 7 from the series Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugimoto / Yami Yugi, or also the Pharaoh. But this is a combination of two personalities inhabiting the same body, of course. Of course, normal Yugimoto is the normal boy, and then, of course, Yami Yugi, or Yami, or Pharaoh, whichever name you prefer to use, of course, resides within the Millennium Puzzle, and comes out when Yugi needs him. And it's an interesting series, I will say. Anime-wise, maybe it's just a tad overrated, but it's still enjoyable. It's one of the few for kids animes that you can actually tolerate watching. But after the original series, it just got really stupid. Like GX and all them, yeah. It's toe crap. The original series was at least okay. Coming in at number 6 is Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. definitely Edward Elric is hands down one of the most well-known, famous protagonists in any anime series nowadays. Definitely the Elric brothers are definitely become very well known, though Edward Elric is definitely the most popular, basically the figurehead of really the anime series, though. His little brother's just as important with that cool, interesting battle armor. But if you've never seen Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, now personally for me, though it's not as long, I personally like the original Full Metal Alchemist over Brotherhood, but Brotherhood is still a really great anime. Don't get me wrong. It's just like some of the original storyline that took place over 25 or so episodes in the original, they crushed down into about a period of 6 or 7 episodes in Brotherhood. So you didn't get to see near the detail in the story and stuff. Because basically they cut down the original Full Metal Alchemist into less episodes, and then that way they can just skip on to the original. So I highly recommend you check out the original Full Metal Alchemist if you've never watched it. If you've just seen Brotherhood and you kind of wish some of the early story stuff was more detailed, check out the 25 episode Full Metal Alchemist, the OVA. It's definitely worth your time if you enjoy Brotherhood and you want to hear more in depth on the story. Trust me, it's definitely worth your time. Coming in at number 5. From the series Naruto Shippuden, Naruto comes in at number 5. Definitely today, probably hands down, the second most well-known anime protagonist nowadays in anime culture. He definitely made a huge impact. Now, personally, of course, anybody knows me knows, I did not like the original Naruto series. I didn't. I tried watching it, and I just couldn't get into it. I thought it was stupid. Now, interestingly enough, I actually like Naruto Shippuden. It's kind of interesting. Actually, and it's not just me. There's a lot of people who didn't like the original Naruto that like Shippuden. And look at ratings and overall popularity. Shippuden has far surpassed the original Naruto show. For good reasons. Better plots, better overall story arcs. I mean, it's just way better overall quality, and Naruto's not as annoying now as he was back then. Coming in at number 4, of course, probably one of a very well-known anime, definitely people who like animes from the 90s and stuff, 80s and 90s, are going to like this series. And that is Yu Yu Hakusho. And coming in at number 4 is the main protagonist of the series, Yusuke Urameshi, Spirit Detective. And obviously, Yusuke Urameshi is awesome, and he's voiced by probably my personal favorite English dub voice actor of all time, and that being Justin Cook. Now, I personally have met several voice actors, believe it or not. They have done a lot of stuff for Funimation, and one of the voice actors, which I actually met this past year at my local anime convention called Tsubasa-con, he voiced in Dragon Ball Z, actually. He voiced the character Future Trunks, and he also voiced Trunks in Dragon Ball GT as well. So, definitely awesome getting to talk to him, and his normal, everyday voice is very similar to that of Trunks. And he's voiced other characters, and he is actually, which I think is cool, that he's actually worked, and actually has met Justin Cook. Now, today, but anyways, I digress, sorry, off topic, but anyways, Yusuke Urameshi is an awesome character, very much enjoyable, and you can relate a little more to him in some ways than you could to other anime characters, because in the beginning and stuff, he comes from a type of lifestyle. I think there are a lot of younger like high school students and stuff that can relate to the type of life he comes from. And generally, it's just an interesting character. It's definitely, I think somebody said best, Yu Yu Hakusho is like a more mature version, really, of like DBZ. That's what it is, a more mature version. Coming in at number 3 is actually a tie between two characters. And the first of the two at tie at number 3 is Inuyasha from the anime series Inuyasha. Which is no surprise, really, I would say, to a lot of people, because Inuyasha is an awesome character. Of course, in the beginning, he's really only about wanting to become a full demon, and as the series progresses, and if you include Final Act, total Inuyasha spans 8 seasons and like 200-some episodes. Some pretty good length anime series, obviously. There's only a handful of animes that make it more than 1 or 2 seasons, make it more than 20-some episodes, let alone making it past 100 episodes into the 200-some. Only a handful of animes have done this. And Inuyasha just happens to be one of those special ones. And the music in Inuyasha is incredible, and some people may not know about it. It's actually based on a Japanese play, Inuyasha. But yeah, that's actually, it didn't start out as a manga or anime series. It's actually based on a Japanese play, Inuyasha. And they ended up getting inspired by that and created the manga, and of course led to the anime series, which has overall really good English voice acting talent in it. And I can only say that the show is really interesting. It is really hilarious, the interaction between Kagome and Inuyasha, especially when she constantly likes to say, "Sit, boy. Sit, 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 sit." Yeah, it's pretty funny overall. And tied with it at number 3 is from the anime series Bleach, which spans like 366 episodes. So yeah, making one of the like top 5 longest running anime series of all time. And, of course, the main protagonist of the show, which is actually very similar characteristic-wise to, believe it or not, similar to characters like Inuyasha, and also similar to Yusuke Urameshi, and of course, that is Ichigo Kurosaki, which would become a temporary Soul Reaper for the Soul Society. And it's a very interesting series. At times, it can get very confusing with the convoluted, with them convoluting some of the, what's the phrase I'm looking for? The storylines, or things such as this. But it can get, at times, very confusing, the series, I will say that. The first, 5 seasons are incredible, and then, season 6 onward, it starts getting, really confusing and starts turning your head. Though it's still an enjoyable series. Coming in at number 2 from the anime series Rurouni Kenshin. And as was the miniseries Samurai X, it is, at number 2, is Kenshin Himura. Which, of course, the main character from Trigun is actually kind of similar to Kenshin Himura, because when he was younger, he ended up killing a lot of people, wants to repent for his sins by helping people. And this is what, of course, Kenshin Himura does. He was known as Batusai the Manslayer during the Meiji Revolution, and would help, of course, the rise of the Meiji government. But definitely of protagonists, you could definitely say Kenshin Himura is one of the more interesting characters. And really funny moments at times with his interactions with some of the other characters, such as Sano, such as Yahiko Myoji, or Kaoru Kamiya. But definitely the characters are really awesome in this series. And of course, other characters you get to see from his past, which come later, which his name is Saito, but he changed his name to Goro Fujita. And awesome. It's just really enjoyable. And I can't help but, and I think a lot of people can't help but love Kenshin Himura because he's just such a likable and cool character, but can get really badass and even scary at times. But that's what makes him an awesome anime character. And here's honorable mentions. Afro from Samurai... Yeah. L from Death Note. Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Astro Boy from Astro Boy. Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Blade from the Blade mini-anime series. Iron Man from the Iron Man mini-anime series. Kuwabara, Kurama, and Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. Rukia from Bleach. Sailor Moon from Sailor Moon, of course. Ash and Red from Pokemon. From Inuyasha, Kagome, Moroku, Songo, Koga. From Dragon Ball Z, also of other characters. Goten, Hercule Satan, or Mr. Satan rather. Gohan, Trunks, Piccolo. And yeah. And coming in at number 1, I don't think is any surprise to anyone out there given the name of this YouTube channel. And it is by far the most successful anime series of all time. That's right. Coming in at number 1 is Goku. Or, of course, on planet Vegeta, known as Kakarot. But yes, Goku comes in at number 1. He is hands down probably the most infamous, most famous anime hero of all time. I mean, heck, they even did 2 special death battles involving him and Superman. I personally think Superman would lose in the end to Goku, but hey, that's just my own personal opinion. And I'm a hardcore anime fan. So yeah, I'm going to be somewhat biased. But yeah, Goku comes in at number 1 as the greatest protagonist in anime ever. Not to mention the most powerful, pretty much, character ever, hero-wise. Because Lord Barris or Lord Bill doesn't really count as really a hero. He might be considered really neutral type character. And anyways, please send me feedback. Thumbs this up. Subscribe. Give me feedback for future videos. Follow me at twitter.com/GokuSunDBZ. As well as you can follow me on Google Plus as well. And stay tuned for an upcoming comic book review, which is, of course, going to be Street Fighter X G.I. Joe Issue 2. And my next Sunday top 10 list is going to be a very special top 10 list. It's going to be for well, let's just say it's going to be a little different than some of my past lists. And that is, actually though, it's going to be video game themed. And it's going to be the top 10 video game openings of all time. So yeah, in views and stuff, looking at some of the more popular, better quality overall openings to video games that are just cool and stuff. Graphics don't matter, generation of game console and stuff doesn't matter when it comes to openings. So, anyways, I'll see you next time here in YouTube Land. Peace out. And just remember, same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.